Lukhanyo, a very good afternoon to you. What was the reaction from the Oversight Committee on the fact that the Home Affairs Minister and the Director General both couldn't show for this very important meeting?
Alicia, good afternoon. I think disappointment would be an understatement from my side. They were quite furious that, they were told, the MPs were told to get to the committee as quickly as they possibly could because the Director General had about 10 to 20 minutes in which he could spend with them before he had to move over to the NCOP where he was dealing with the budget debate or with the budget vote of the department. So anyway, MPs said they rushed to get there only for them to sit there and wait and wait and wait and wait and then eventually be told much later on in the day that unfortunately the Director General would not be able to meet with them. So they were quite furious and they were not happy with the situation at all. So in the end, they then decided that they will summon both the Director General, the current Minister Hlengiwe Mkhize, as well as former Minister of Home Affairs Gupta, to come and address them next week because they obviously need answers on some very pertinent questions. Alicia.
All right. And here's another pertinent question, Lukhanyo. Maybe outline this briefly for us because the former minister is pretty adamant that he didn't flout any processes. Do tell us, what is the actual issue of contention when it comes to the naturalization of the Guptas via Home Affairs?
Well, when we spoke to some of the MPs after the briefing this morning, they were very concerned to say that there was an issue there. There was a letter that the department rightly wrote to the Gupta family to say, look, based on these criteria, you guys do not meet the standard to be granted early naturalization. Then, a couple of months later, there's a letter that goes from former Minister Gigaba's office to the Gupta family granting them. So now MPs are saying something went wrong between January and May when the minister actually wrote to the Gupta family. So they now need to find out who exactly is telling the truth and on what basis did the minister actually grant the Guptas the early naturalization. So for the MPs here, they want to know what changed between January and May, and according to them, they're saying that the minister must also outline to the MPs exactly, what criteria he had used, other than the act, of course, that empowers him, but what criteria did he actually use to reach that decision, to overturn or to override the decision by the department to turn down the Gupta's application for early naturalization. Alicia.
All right, and look, are we certain then, since you mentioned that they have been subpoenaed to actually show next week, Tuesday, are we certain that they are going to be at the National Assembly to deal with this and it's going to be brought to a halt?
Well, I can't say that with certainty that they will be there. What I can say with certainty is that the committee has decided that it will summon, or it will at least insist, that the Director General, the current Minister Hlengiwe Mkhize,
yes,
as well as former Minister Gupta, that all of them must be there, because the committee said that they had invited them to be there today, but then there was a no-show. So to make sure, at least to guarantee that they are there next week, they will summon them, insisting that they have to be there. Unfortunately, I can't give you a certainty as to whether or not they will be there. But look, this is Parliament, and I think a summons from Parliament, everybody here understands that it is quite a serious matter, and I doubt that the Director General or any of those two ministers will not be there if they are indeed summoned as per the requirements by the MPs this morning.
Here's
Alicia?
another quick quiz for you, Lukhanyo. I'm sure, just give us what what you can on this one. I'm not sure if you have the total of all the details pertaining to this. Any word from the Guptas? Because, I mean, these are the people that are at the center of this drama. Have their lawyers also been summoned to bring maybe verification or any other supporting documents to prove that the naturalization was actually done due to diligent process?
Alicia, not as far as I know of here in Parliament. I think that process is likely to unfold once the MPs here, or at least the committee, have met with the Director General and have heard from the ministers directly. The MPs will then decide as to whether or not they will call a formal inquiry into this naturalization process. I think were that to happen, they will then obviously go to the Guptas, or at least go to the legal representatives, saying to them that they must avail any documents that is in their possession as to how this process has unfolded. But at this stage, unfortunately, we don't have those answers. Alicia?
I thank you so much for that sound update. That is Lukhanyo Calata, our parliamentary reporter, with an update on the Home Affairs Gupta citizenship saga. And of course, that meeting was not discussed. It did not convene today. It was postponed to next week, Tuesday.